Hey guys, White Manga here with a new video on how to add manga screen tones traditionally. Now for those who follow me and who follow my comic Apple Black, which is available, you can read the first 4 chapters free on Saturday AM, or you can buy volume 1 with the first 9 chapters also on Saturday AM, but you can also get volume 1 on Amazon as well, and a bunch of other places. But if you follow my work, you know that I apply screen tones using a computer, so I do it digitally with Manga Studio. But for this tutorial, we're just going to focus on applying screen tones traditionally, the old school, old-fashioned way that is still being used by many comic artists, especially in Japan. One of the cons with screen tones is that, one, they're very expensive and it's very tedious and time-consuming. Doing it digitally saves you a lot of time, and I get similar results. I get the results I want, really, not similar results, but just what I want to do. There are some people that apply screen tones with, well, not necessarily screen tones, they don't use screen tones, but to put in like the grayscale, they kind of use maybe cool warm grays, or cool grays, or warm grays rather, using maybe some kind of marker, whether it's a copic marker or some other marker to apply. My point is that people they tone differently. Like, it depends on your style, so the way you tone and what you use to tone, and if you even tone at all. There are some comics that have no tone and it's just completely black and white. So one thing to keep in mind is that there are plenty of ways to apply them, there are plenty of ways to use them, plenty of techniques, plenty of different styles, tools, everything, right? So this video is just going to focus on actually applying tone, if applying tone traditionally lends itself to your style. So for this video, I'm going to be using one of my characters as a model. His name is Caesar from Apple Black. You might be familiar with the character from the previous video when about drawing a character over and over and still having them be consistent visually, being consistent in design. So now we have everything sketched and inked with the G pen. Now we're just going to go ahead and apply the screen tones. So here, I'm trying to figure out, which one to use in this case. And we could have gone with less line, like there are different screen tones with the ones I received. So we're just going to go with this one for the video. And that's going to occupy all the the space that I need. The character is a character of color, so we're just going to tone his skin. That's the goal. That's all we're going to be doing. Trying to separate the tone from the actual paper here. And the whole idea is just basically basically just putting the tone on there, so it's kind of sticky. So that, and it's kind of like sellotape in a way. It's not as sticky as sellotape, but that's kind of the idea. And once you when you apply, you kind of want to press to make sure it sticks on there. Then you need an X-Acto knife, and you have to be very careful and patient when doing this, and basically cut out the parts you need and well parts you don't need. It depends on how you apply. Here I'm placing the whole thing on there and I'm just going to go ahead and cut out all the parts that I don't need toned. Here we just want his skin toned, so I'm going to cut out the rest. I'm going to cut out his eye. I'm going to cut out the parts that cover his hair, his hat, and parts that are beyond the panel, and things like that. So I'm just going to use the X-Acto knife. I'm going to be careful and go, cut out what I need, leave what I need, and cut out what I don't. The idea behind this is actually pretty simple. As far as techniques and all that go, it's really up to style. So I'm not going to focus on that. I'll kind of give an example at the end of the video showing different ways to apply screen tones, but different techniques and different ways it's used. But when it comes to the actual application of it, and this is just it. It's basically just placing it on the paper and cutting out what you need, and, leaving what you need and cutting out what you don't need. That's really all it is. So essentially, it's simple, but you have to be careful with things. You don't want to mess things up, so it can be time consuming. The paper, the tones themselves are expensive. So there are a couple disadvantages to it, but people, there are artists that are kind of in love with the result. But I'll use my Apple Black and I'll show some examples of, me using screen tones and what I've used screen tones to achieve in my book. So it's less about whether you got there digitally or traditionally, but it's more about the end result and if you're happy with what you have, depending on your style. Now, as you guys may know, I don't use traditional screen tones like I've said previously. So there might be better ways out there to apply screen tones. But since I had screen tones laying around, I decided to make a video about it and just kind of let you guys know how I would do it. If I were to use screen tones, and kind of share the information that I have on screen tones and how it's being applied and things like that. But the actual style and techniques of when to use them and things like that, you can do that whether it's traditional or digital. So I'll give examples with that using Apple Black by the end of the video. Kind of just show you actual pages briefly. So here, just putting it back. Maybe I might use some of them later, but just don't want to throw them away. And here are some other ones that I received. Kind of like this. It's almost like a weird, sketchy, cool gradient. Oh, and this is another one I could have used. It's not same. It's not the same. The one that's in the bag is much lighter, where it looks more like a flat gray than the one I actually used. But here you have the sketchy one, and that could have been in the background. I could have cut it and put it in the background, but I actually want the background, empty. I don't want to do much. If you look at my book, as I'll give an example here, you would see that I use tones, but I use tones, more than the average guy, but not as much, not every time. You'll see sometimes I like to leave a lot of white space or use full black. Like I just fill in with black completely. Here you can see an example of a gradient done in Manga Studio. All of this was done in Manga Studio. This was not done traditionally, but all of this can be achieved using these using screen tones, depending on the screen tones you have. Basically, and also depending on the user and how good and experienced you are using them. Sometimes people tone like that's the same character, that's Osamu there, but he's not a character of color, but he's completely toned in, and then you have that white space. It really allows him pop out and gives like a little, makes viewers sometimes focus on him a little more, and so that's kind of like a technique that a lot of shonen manga use. You can see me use tone again, gradients in the sky for the sky, and I leave like some space to form like clouds and things like that. This is actually a colored page, but in the book is black and white. That's all that is. Here you have more screen tones. That's another screen tone, and then for her umbrella, that's even more screen tones right there. Again, you have some tones at the bottom there, kind of forming some kind of silhouette for city. The same thing above for her to tone neon, the girl there, to give focus, and then the gradient for the sky. Again, another gradient for the sky again, and as you can see, there are many ways to apply. Sometimes you use screen tones to show shadow. It all depends on your style. It depends on how you want to apply it. But that's about it for now. I think that's enough for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. Please don't forget to like the video. Those are one of the things that help spread the word about the video, and y'all have been doing that a whole lot recently, and I'd like to thank you guys for that, and I hope you guys continue. Like, share, subscribe, leave comments if you have any. Check out Apple Black again if you haven't already, and for those who have purchased Apple Black, I'd like to thank you guys for the support. It is greatly appreciated. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. You can check out other videos. There are a lot of you guys giving us suggestions for videos you would like to see me do, but please make sure that I haven't made the video already, because sometimes people leave comments for ideas that I've already done that are on the channel. So you can check the channel and probably find that I've done a lot of tutorials already. So yeah, that's it, guys. This is White Manga, and I'm outie.